episode of Dad's Making. Oh no, Dad's Making? No, Dad's Driving. Got the episodes wrong, or the shows wrong that I do. Even though they're my shows and I came up with the titles and all of that. Okay, but I won't cut this. Today we will be talking again about food from my past and your past and all of that. So if you like my shows, then please hit the like and subscribe button at the top. So here we go. And I came up with the idea for it because I was talking to my partner today about things that we like to do in the past, and that's why I want to talk about food today. And as you can see, I have a phone holder, and I treated myself to one that magnetically charges my phone. And today I have a little bit of stuff to do, so I will take you along with me. So let's go. So talking with you guys about food. It's just because it's so nice and sunny at the moment here in Ireland. For the last little while, or the last week it was only sunny. This week it's sunny with some rain spells, which is fine. You know, nature needs its rain. You know, plants need to grow, fields need to be watered and all that stuff. But it just got me thinking about foods that I used to love to eat in summertime. And I think in Germany, at least, one of the nicest things that I had and that I still kind of crave every once in a while are what we call Freibad pommes. Now, Freibad is basically a public pool, public swimming pool, and they sell French fries, of course. There, they sell all kinds of stuff like jellies and all that stuff. And they used to be a lot cheaper than they are now today. But they also do French fries, and they probably use way too much salt and all that on them, but there's some kind of mix on them that's like salt and paprika and probably one or two other ingredients in there, and they toss the fries in. And the fries are not too thick and not too thin, and crunchy from the outside and fluffy in the middle, and then you can have it with just ketchup or just mayo or both. If you want both, if you're ever in Germany, then order pommes, which is fries. It comes from the French word pomme for potato. And then say pommes Schranke. And Schranke is basically when you cross at a train crossing, basically. The pole that comes down and it's white and red striped, and that's a Schranke. So because ketchup and mayo is red and white, that's why you would call that pommes Schranke. And that's one of those flavors that my mouth is watering right now, that I can still remember, and probably nowadays it would taste different as an adult than it did as a child. But yeah, that's a kind of thing, a kind of flavor that sometimes just comes into my mind, and I'm like, salivating. Yeah, I'd love some of that right now. And it was always great, as a kid, go swimming, diving off the sides that you shouldn't do, or diving off the boards. I don't know if you guys have diving towers where you are, but some places in Germany have the blocks that you have for diving, and from the pool to swim your lanes, and then the other side sometimes would have a diving tower with different heights. So 1 meter, I'll close the window so you can hear me better probably. So 1 meter, 3 meters, 5 meters and 10 meters. And of course there were loads of rumors always, when you're a kid, oh my god, if you jump wrong from the 10 meter tower, it'll rip your skin off. that's why you have to jump in perfectly straight and all that stuff. So with your feet first or with your hands first, you know, depending on how you dive. So I remember as a kid, I never was brave enough for the 10 meters. I think twice I made it up to the 5, but that was about as much as I could stomach. I also never was a big, you know, like trick doer. Like I did the you know, the bomb, which is, you know, pull in your legs and form a ball, or just jump kind of straight in this kind of way. One time I remember I wanted to try, you know, what other people had been doing on one of the, I think it was a 3 meter board or so, you know, when they walk a bit faster and then they jump on what you call it, and then they jump a little bit from kind of the middle to the front and then do like a flip or something like that into the water. So I thought, hey, you know, I'll try that. I'll see if I can do that, and can't. I tried it. It was a little bit slippery also, to be fair. So I slipped, basically landed on the board on my chest, and then flipped me over into the water onto my back, and that was painful. that was very, very painful. Now I laugh about myself, but and that's good, you know. You need to laugh about your own silly mistakes. But of course, at that time, like bright red head and feeling mega embarrassed, as you can imagine. But nowadays, I can laugh about that. What are other foods? Like I grew up in Bavaria, so we had so many different kinds of foods. I also remember fondly in school we used to have, from I think 5th grade on, there was a little hut, and you know, they sold like candy bars and all that stuff, but they also sold deep dish pizza. But it wasn't like American style pizza. It was kind of like, you know, like probably German-ish version of pizza. Probably more like a focaccia with toppings. But I remember that, well, it had mushrooms on it. I don't like mushrooms. I picked them off when I saw them. But yeah, I remember that fondly. And also in that area where I grew up in, they had these we called them Käsebrötchen, which technically means like a cheese roll. But it wasn't like a traditional roll dough, you know, not like that sourdough or something like that, but it was puff pastry. And it was puff pastry cut into, I think it was hexagonal shape, and cheese on top. So when it rises, of course, like the outside has like loads of layers, and it's crunchy, and the cheese on top is crunchy. So often you would just pick the cheese on the top first and eat that, and you would just go in and try to, with your fingers, scoop out all the soft doughy parts and eat those, and then the crunchy bit at the end. Yeah, that was, I remember that. I tried to find like recipes on how to properly make those myself, but I never managed to find any, so maybe I'll just have to try and figure it out myself at some point. But yeah, that's a flavor, that's a taste that I remember well from my childhood. I see someone is in chat, so why don't you tell me if there's any flavor of a drink or food or so that you miss from when you were a child, and we can have a chat about it. What I also remember was when I was in America as a child, having Dr. Pepper over there, and it tastes, at least at that time, and that could have been because back in the 90s, probably they put a lot more chemicals in there into those things than they are allowed nowadays. But the flavor was just like amazing, and I remember that they then advertised Dr. Pepper 10 with like extra herbs, I think it was, or so, like 10 extra herbs and spices or so. And oh my goodness, like, also that is something that I remember fondly. And Welsh grape soda, I think they still sell that in America. Over here in Ireland you can get Fanta grape, which is similar enough, but it's not the same. And yeah, oh, flavors of your childhood, like things tasted probably a lot more intense and a lot more like chemically, not back then, but you didn't really realize that they were chemicals that you were tasting, because it was like you're a kid and it's advertised for you as a kid, you know. But yeah, if I think about the smell alone, and topic of smells, my sister, she sadly is not with us anymore, would have, I think she had I think it's called black cherry, because over here in Ireland I sometimes find these smelly candles and smelly, like, smell pots or scented pots. For me they're smelly pots. I call them smelly pots. Maybe I should open a brand call them smelly pots and smelly candles, even though they're scented. It's the proper thing probably to call them, but for me they're smelly. With black cherry, but it's like the American black cherry. Like, again, it is similar enough, but it's not the same. But when I do smell that smell, I remember my sister, and that makes me happy and sad, because she was a cool lady, really cool lady. Can I think of something else that I loved as a kid to eat, or when I was younger? The American mac and cheese. I don't remember if they already were owned by Kraft at that time or not, but if you've ever had the American mac and cheese out of a pack, basically, again, pasta with chemicals and cheese flavored chemicals. But you know, that's how it is sometimes. If you've ever had those, like, no well-made mac and cheese with, you know, like, proper cheese will ever taste that way. And again, like, I connected in my mind with my sister. So yeah, that flavor you'll probably never find again, because I would assume they had like loads of colorings and chemicals in there that they are definitely not allowed to use in Europe anymore, and they probably aren't allowed to use in America either. God, so much stuff that they used to give us when we were kids, and they probably, you know, just changed the names of stuff, and you would still use the same things in just different quantities or whatever. But yeah, just the things that you consume as a kid without realizing what kind of, basically almost like poison you put into yourself, is mind-blowing, but like it tastes so good, you know. Oh yeah, and one more thing from America, and they definitely don't taste the same nowadays, and again, could be change in recipe, or could be that when you're grown up things taste differently. But Ruffles chips, you know, because when I was growing up in Germany there weren't like many different chips and flavors and all that stuff. It was generally like, in Germany we generally used to like paprika chips, and that's kind of it, you know, maybe just salt, but nothing too crazy and out there, like sour cream and onion. That only came in a lot later, probably because of the American brands coming in. But Ruffles chips, you know, nice ripped cut, thin, crispy potato chip. Yeah, it just salted was nice, but of course cheese and onion. Okay, guys, with that I am at my destination. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. And one more time, I'll ask you to like, subscribe, and follow, because that will help me doing this stuff, and maybe someday even just do this as my profession. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for listening. I'm your dad, Steve, and I am out.